Hey, welcome in, everybody. It's 2 o'clock. It's the Bullpen. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. We are live here at Toyota Field in Madison, getting ready for a well-deserved rest here at Toyota Field. The field's getting a little bit of a break. We get a little bit of a break in the sense that we don't have to be here from 8 a.m. until 10, 11 p.m. this week. The Pandas, of course, are on the road taking care of business. Last night was absolutely insane. We'll recap that in just a moment. We'll go over, of course, all the guys. The roster looks a lot different pitching-wise than it did the last time Ricky and I were on here talking to our last guest, which was Ben Joyce. He's not here anymore. We'll talk about that as well. But
Did he take a construction job? What was it? Where'd he go?
no, I think he went farming eggs to feed his egg habit.
he might have enough money someday to open up his own chicken coop.
He joined the circus. Actually, he lays his own eggs and then juggles them.
I knew when he had the juggling backup plan, I'm like, there's more to this than baseball. There's more to it.
No, we wish him all the best. We'll discuss actually his first outing as an Angel as well. But first, we got to talk about what happened last night. The Pandas last week here dropped 5 of 6. They won on a Saturday night. Every single game was a close battle. Every single one of them was a very close battle. And it's important to note that on Tuesday, the first game of the week, last week, the Pandas were up 6-0. We got to the 8th inning. We got to the 8th inning in less than 2 hours. The Pandas ended up losing that game in like 11 innings, 8-6. They blew a 6-run lead. Last night, they go on the road to Montgomery. And right out the gate, Montgomery was on fire. Montgomery scored 7 runs in the first inning, ultimately went up 12-0. It got to the point where the morale of Trash Pandas fans was so low. A guy on Twitter, after Orlando Martinez hit a home run to bring it to 12-3, he was like, it's kind of hard to be excited about this when you're down 12-3. And he sent a gif of one of the cartoon dogs waving a little flag going, woo.
Yay.
Morale was low. You lose 5 in a row, you go on the road, and you're just getting hammered right out the gate, right? But did you think it was over? Did you really think that the Trash Pandas were just going to roll over and die?
Did you hear that? You hear that? Is that a large lady singing?
No, I don't believe I hear that.
I don't think it is.
It's because it's not over.
I think you have to refer to her as large now. And she is not singing, pal. All right? And the Pandas certainly weren't hearing any singing. And it showed on the field because that was just another game in what has already been one of the craziest baseball seasons, maybe the craziest sports seasons I've ever witnessed in my life. We're, 2 months in? And we've seen things that I've never seen in my lifetime.
It's insane. And last night, you can chalk that up to another one. Like, me and Dan had been talking, one of the press box guys, all last week. When the Trash Pandas had the lead, they played a little better. They did blow the 6-run lead. But on Saturday, they held the lead, and they were able to hold on and win the game, right? But all those other games, they lost by 1 or 2 runs. Most of them went into extra innings.
Had a chance to win every single one of them.
Right. They played from behind, and they just couldn't. They got close. They always got within 1 or 2 runs and could not quite get over the hump. They would make a comeback. Like, even though they lost by 1 or 2 runs, they were down by more than that, and they would come back and have a chance, a great opportunity, several opportunities, and they weren't able to finish it off. Last night, though, it feels like they got over that hump. We've been waiting for that really difficult win to push them over the edge, that it looks like they shouldn't win, but they do win it, and now they go on a roll. Well, here's their opportunity. They play better on the road anyway, and then on top of that, they're down 12 runs to nothing, score 11 in 1 inning, and end up winning that game 15-12. Colton Ingram comes in and pitched 1 2/3 inning, ended up getting pulled with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Yovan came in. Kenyon Yovan pitched 1 1/3 inning. He got his 4th save of the year. That dude doesn't give up any runs. He's the de facto there you go. He's the de facto closer for the Trash Pandas now. Everything last night seemed like it was coming together. I cannot wait to see them tonight. Not here, but I can't wait to see them tonight and see if they can continue to get on that roll in Montgomery. But I believe you've prepared a little something.
I got the highlights. You want to watch it all? Because I'm gonna be honest, I did not know we were down 12 when we were down 12.
I didn't either.
I had the day off yesterday. I was doing some bird watching. A lot of catching up on a lot of hobbies that I haven't been able to get to in the last 2 weeks.
What's your favorite bird?
The yellow-breasted finch. Anyways, I'm a big ornithological guy. Are you? You're not?
No.
Oh,
Not a
man.
big bird guy.
You find me a
Ever since they
yellow-bellied
brought-
seersucker, and the binoculars ain't moving for a couple hours. You know what I mean?
I've been at war with the birds ever since they brought us that flu.
Right.
Listen,
Oh, you were like, nah.
yeah, dude.
No more.
You get something called the bird flu. I'm not really
We had a deal.
rocking with you. That's right. We're not. The vibe's off right here.
That's how I feel about pigs. Whenever I see pigs, I go, we had a deal. We had a deal, swine. And then you broke it. Because of that, we're not on speaking terms anymore. But where was I?
Who talking?
Anyways, that's right. I was catching up on some hobbies, some things that I haven't been able to get to in the last couple weeks. I don't even pay attention to the start of the game. And then I get on Twitter and I see, oh my gosh, what a comeback. The Pandas have they set team record for most runs scored in an inning. It's the biggest comeback ever. And I'm like, wait, what? When did this all happen? So I downloaded the clips right here because I had to come into work and really absorb it all today to fully understand the magnitude of this comeback right here. So if you want, we'll go a little Sports Center style. We'll hit the highlights.
Let's see
okay,
it.
now this is the highlights for the comeback right here. So let's get that up on the screen going. Yeah.
Biscuits fans, look away. This isn't for you.
Biscuits fans, look away. Look at that. You see the scoreboard? 12-0. That's a double play by Jose Gomez right there. Not a good start. But as you see, there's a 1 on the board now. Okay.
There's a 2-run shot by Orlando Martinez right there.
Cutting the lead to 9. That's right. It's tough to keep. They say a 9-run lead in baseball is the hardest one to hold, and they are absolutely true. Right after Orlando Martinez goes out of the yard, the Barracuda himself, Tucker Flint. See you later, ball. That one's out of here. Another shot up the middle. It's Edgar Caro. He's out. Oh, no, he's not. Guy just dropped it. Ball hit him in the glove. Dropped it.
Errors are brutal.
Errors are going to cost you. And up next, who is it? I believe it's Orlando Martinez again. With a line drive through the gap there into right field. Run scores. Tucker Flint, the Barracuda, up there. Takes one on the knuckles. Ow! Oh, my God. But like a true Barracuda, he doesn't have real hands. He goes to first base. Aaron Whitefield doesn't even look like he cares to play the game. He does not take the bat off his shoulder. It doesn't matter because all the pitches were balls. He gets another base. We see a sac fly right here by Jose Gomez. I've said his name 3 times already. That's another run. Only down 3 now. Ball into right field. Where's that going? It's Teodosio. Is it going to be caught? No, it's going to be a double right next to those double juicy beef patties there in right field. Oh, yeah, he's safe. Income, not 1, but 2 runs for the Pandas. It's only a 1-run lead, and there it is. A shot to bring home. He's safe. He's safe. Oh, yes, another RBI somehow, and as you see, the Pandas have taken the lead, and later on, let's get a little insurance on it. Oh, who is that? That's Jeremiah Jackson. That's a 2-run double. That's going to make it 15. And, folks, in a game that was 12-0, the Pandas found a way to put up 15 unanswered and get the W before the Undertaker hits the mound. And what he told the Montgomery Biscuits is, I hope you rest in peace. Down go the Biscuits. That's 9 innings. And the Pandas get a W in what is the most 2023 Pandas way.
Yeah.
In absolute absurdity.
You know what they did better than Montgomery in that game?
What's that?
They scored the 13th run. The first 12 are easy. Right? That 13th run's the hardest one to get. The Pandas got there first.
Got to get into the oven and get you that baker's dozen sometimes. Sometimes it's hot. Sometimes you ain't got the gloves for it. Sometimes you're like Tucker Flint. You take one of the fingers. How am I supposed to continue the comeback with my broken finger? Shake it off. Fish gills, baby. Fish gills. He doesn't have hands. He's got flippers, and they work on land and in sea. And you just saw a huge win right there. Let's go Pandas. How about the Pandas?
How about Ricky on the highlight reel there? That was wonderful.
How about the cardiac Pandas? I need to get my pulse back down.
The most impressive part of that whole highlight reel there was that you could see which player was which. They all looked like big blobs to me. I could not tell anybody from anybody over there.
Hey,
so
buddy,
good job by you.
Hey, we just worked 12 games in 14 days. I could tell these guys if they were on top of Montesano Mountain right here. They're going for a hike. I go, is that Zach Humphreys? Oh, no, it's just a yellow-breasted finch. My apologies. Where are my binoculars?
Yeah, I often get them confused too. One thing I was really excited to see in that game last night was what we're used to seeing from a guy like Bryce Teodosio. We're not used to seeing Bryce go and hit 300 for a season or anything like that. The two things I'm used to seeing from Bryce Teodosio, number one, being an absolute stud in center field, being the yellow-breasted Finch of the outfield. You know what I mean? All over the place. That and coming up clutch at the plate. Last year, we had that awesome moment. We got the Bryce Teodosio inside the park home run bobblehead. That's what Bryce was. It's not that Bryce was the biggest force at the plate all the time, but in crunch time moments, in clutch moments when you needed a hit, when you needed to get over a hump and finally break over and not get it within a run, but finally tie it up or something like that. Bryce would come through in something like that. Last night, Bryce came through in several moments when we needed him. So
his name might be Bryce, but he's better known as Elmer because that dude's the glue of this team right here. Like you said, he's not going to hit a 520-foot home run, but he's going to make a play when you need it. He's going to hit a double to that sweet outfield wall sign of those juicy cheeseburgers out there in right field. It's going to bounce off the buns. It's going to disorient the outfielder. What am I playing? Am I tantalized by these sweet, juicy meats? Or do I try to get this ball before we give up a 12-run lead? I don't know, but he's making them think. Yeah, that's the key.
So the Pandas get that done. They got another one going on tonight. Can chip away. The beauty about this series with the Pandas being in third place in the Southern League South or North, I hate the
we're the
North
Kings
division
of the North
in the Southern League.
Mm-hmm.
But
and by Kings I mean third.
So they're in third place right now, but teams 1 and 2 are playing each other. So beat each other. They didn't play last night. They played on Monday in a makeup game. Tennessee smoked them in that game. So they'll play again tonight. So the Pandas gained a game on Chattanooga, the team that they just lost 5 out of 6 to. So that's a good sign too. You win 5 games in this series, which is doable after last night, getting some momentum after last night. You're right back in the driver's seat here.
No doubt. And you know how minor league baseball works. At the midpoint of the season, one team from each division is going to clinch a playoff berth. Mm-hmm. And I think we have 3 more homestands here before that break, probably 5 or 6 total before that. So what is that, 30-something games? We're only down 4. We're 4 games back on Tennessee right now.
When is the All-Star break?
All-Star break, I believe, is mid-July. I don't know the exact dates.
Okay.
But,
so we got 2 homestands coming up in June, and then I believe we have 1 in July before the break.
We got a homestand to start July. I believe they go on the road. Mm-hmm. Maybe for that 3 game, because we started 3 games in Birmingham. I could just pull up the schedule. I mean, I have a computer with all of the answers.
My only thing is July is also that month where they go back-to-back on the road trips. So to make up for the back-to-back homestands we just had.
Right.
But we definitely have 2 homestands in June, and then that 4th of July weekend is at home. For sure, that 4th of July week, excuse me.
Right.
The whole week is at home.
Back at home, let's see. Oh, so I guess maybe well, that's interesting. They've got... was that 9 games in a row starting July 1st at Birmingham for 3 games. So that's at 3 games I was telling you where we started 3 games at home. They got 3 on the road starting July 1st, and then immediately 6 games at home, the 4th through the 9th.
So right before they give them a break, they kind of jam them in there with 9 in a row. That stinks.
Mm-hmm. Then they get 4 days off after that homestand, play a 3-gamer in Biloxi, and then they're back on the 6-game stretches starting July 18th. So let's see. That's 9 games in July. Let's see how many we got left in old June, which is all of them.
That's 6 before the break.
I'm talking the 3 on the road as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got, so those 3 right there are actually part of a homestand. Mm-hmm. That's a weird homestand. We have a homestand against Birmingham that starts on a Wednesday and ends on a Monday.
It's on the road.
That's our road trip. My apologies.
I don't know.
All right, so we got about 5 homestands left, which what I'm trying to say when we got stuck in all these numbers and days and math, which is like, not our favorite thing, is we got a lot of time to catch up. Okay, 4 games back, 30-something games. They just had 15 runs unanswered in a comeback victory. Maybe this sparks a little comeback. Maybe this sparks their chance at winning the North Division from behind here in the first half. And like you said, Chattanooga and Tennessee play each other. So as long as Tennessee doesn't run away with it, if they split, that should be good for Rocket City. And then all they got to do is just take care of business in Montgomery, and they're going to gain some ground.
The one real thing they need to do, honestly, is just play better at home. Because that's the one thing we're really not used to seeing is the Trash Pandas. They're 10-17 at home. Last year they didn't lose a single home series in the regular season at home. They can get back to playing better here at home. They have plenty of time to do that. 7 more homestands left this season. Then I think they're in good shape. So they're starting to play good ball. They're playing. I know their record showed teams above 500. What their record was, but Montgomery's above 500. They beat them last night with a big comeback. It's a talented baseball team. We know how talented it is. If you want to know how talented it is, how about this? Last week we entered the homestand with 3 more pitchers than we left it with.
I was just about to say, considering the circumstances of this year, the guys are doing pretty well. I mean, we had 3 starting pitchers to start that homestand. Luke Murphy started a game, and usually he doesn't go into a game any earlier than like the 7th inning.
Yeah.
He pitched 3 the other day. I mean, we're talking Joyce is called up. Eric Torres is now in AAA. Mason Erla is now in AAA. Sam Bachman is with the Angels. That's 4 right there. Am I missing anything?
I'm not sure about pitchers, but I know we also had. I mean, we had Levon Soto at one point. He's
Soto.
now back in the show. So
Neto
gone, been very, very good. So
middle infield and a lot of pitchers being ripped out of here. A lot of young guys having to come in here. You're seeing like a guy like Jack Kohanowitz go out there, pitch real good in his first home outing. Who was it started for us the other night, or at least got in there? Robinson Pena the other night. Sunday had a good inning. First time back in Trash Panda colors since I believe last season.
Yeah, I think he was here in 21, and then he was in AAA and High A. Back and forth between them, and he was back here this year. Christofax started, and he was a new addition this season.
That's right, yeah. Won our Player of the Month out of the pen.
So he came in and played a little bit. Kenyon Yovan, a new addition, a great addition.
Brett Carey had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
During the last 2 weeks as well.
I'll tell you what, Luke Murphy has struggled out of the pen, but Luke Murphy as a starter for 3 innings was awesome. And then Kohanowitz had that amazing complete game, and then he came in, and the first 2 batters he faced struggled, and then completely recovered. Was great after that. It was nails after that.
It's a team gaining their footsteps, and even if we don't pull off clinching in the first half, I think for the second half of the season you're going to see a different team. You're getting a different baseball, which we have heard all year the issues with that one. And you'll get some new blood in here. There's going to be some movement. Some guys are going to be more used to their roles that they're starting to get now. There's going to be some new guys coming in here. The draft is coming up, so you got to think that'll affect the lineup for the last couple months of the season. There's a lot of ball to be played, and a lot more guys coming through to wear that Trash Pandas uniform.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then you want to talk about this new ball, and it's impacted some pitchers more than it has others, right? Like We've seen Eric Torres, great last year, struggle this year before being called up to AAA. Ben Joyce had a lot of trouble finding the plate early in the season with this new ball. But then you have guys like Kenyon Yovan, who's come in and really hadn't had many issues with the ball, or at least that we can see, because he's pitched really, really well. So it's affected him differently. And like Ben said on Friday, it was more mental the way it got with him, and he fixed that. But you want to see what they look like with the regular ball, go look at Ben Joyce's inning that he pitched with the Angels the other day. Because let me tell you, he found every bit of that strike zone. He's got that nasty fastball, but that cutter, it's like a fastball that moves. Unbelievable. He found every bit of the strike zone, struck out he gave up a base hit to start, struck out 2, and then I think got a fly 8.
Had we seen that cutter this year yet? Or at least move the weight? Because I remember last year it was absolutely fooling guys. And it didn't seem like it had the same kind of potency this year, but then he makes a move to the majors, and instantly you see it right back.
I want to agree with you. I just don't know for sure, because up here in the press box, where it's not like at other places where you're like down the third or first base side. I can't see. I'm right behind, so I can just see if it's in the zone or not.
Well, I'm right there, and I remember sitting behind last year just observing Ben Joyce pitch and going from 102 to that like 79, 80 mile an hour breaking ball. That's filthy. Yeah. I mean, dudes were completely mystified. If they weren't trying not to pee their pants, just wondering, like, will I make it out of here? And it seemed like some of that was kind of missing this year. But, man, he goes up to L.A., tougher competition, and it seems like his pitches are even crisper.
I completely agree with you. He looked way better. Even before he got called up, he was starting to look much better here. And then that inning he pitched was amazing. And then on top of that, another former Trash Panda, Zach Neto, who played here earlier this year at shortstop, had an amazing play to end that game. Ben Joyce goes in there in the 7th, lights out. They go back to the pen even deeper for the 8th and the 9th, and they started to give up some runs. And there was a situation in the 9th inning. I think it was a 6-4 ball game. There were 2 on. And with 2 outs, there was a ridiculous shot hit at Zach Neto, and he was able to field it. Fell to the ground, was able to get up, like fake at third base, and then still able to get the final out at first base. Zach Neto, I mean, as a rookie, we were talking about when Ohapi got there because Ohapi was hitting really well. Ohapi was going to be Rookie of the Year. Then he gets hurt. He's done for the season. You still have that to look forward to, Angels fans. But on top of that, you got another guy to come in there who could fill those same expectations you thought Logan Ohapi was going to have at a different position. Your shortstop had an Angels fan tell me when Neto got called up, when I tweeted about it, he was like, I hope he's good because shortstop's been a pain point for us for a long time. I told him, I don't know what he's going to look like at the plate right away, but I do know that every time a ball was hit his way, every one of us in the press box would look at each other and go, that's an automatic out. Like, you hit it anywhere else, you might have a chance, but that's an automatic out at Neto. And he's carried that over to the Angels, and he looks amazing. He looks every bit of a guy who's going to be there 15 years.
Yeah, I think the next time we see him in a uniform on this field, it'll be like a Zach Neto number retirement night or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Good for him, man. Great to see it. But let's check out these comments, man.
You can finally get him to sign your headband that day.
Yeah, whatever.
There's one I don't want to read out loud.
Okay.
Because I'm just not sure. I got to talk to does he know that yet?
I don't know.
I was told to keep that a secret.
I'm not going to say it either.
I was told to keep that a secret. He told me that you guys were coming out, and I was told to keep it a secret that we have guests coming.
We will not talk about this until the next show if we have clearance.
Yeah.
To say this out loud. But hello there, Yovan family, as always. Can I just say, too, by the way, has Kenyon Yovan got out of an inning where it didn't look like super cool? No. Every time he ends an inning, it ends in the coolest way possible. The other day, he gave up a hit. The ball went into right field. Outfielder gets it. Hoses the guy at home. Yovan's right there. He's getting nuts. He's loving it. He tracks down the first baseline. He's slapping his chest. He's doing that swag like Conor McGregor, but with a skip kind of pacing thing and he's dapping his teammates. He's getting everybody else lit up. That was awesome. The other night he's pitching, 2 outs, needs the final one. Guy hits it. It goes right back to him. Kenny doesn't even flinch like a normal human being would when a 100-mile-an-hour ball is being hit directly towards him. He doesn't move at all. He just does one of these.
I don't even think he looked at the ball. I think he was making eye contact with the batter.
He no-looked a ball coming 100 miles an hour at his thorax and just catches it, no big deal, throws it over, gives a little Kobe shot over first baseman, and then in stride hits that Conor McGregor strut like skip thing, and he's going nuts. Then dude the other night, 2 outs, needs someone to close this inning out for him. He's got a man on first. He does that 3-step little thing he does when he's about to pitch. Boom! Whizzes it over to first, tags the guy out. We got a pick-off to end the inning. He only ends innings in swagged-out, cool ways. And I love it. I mean, the dude's a lightning rod.
Yeah, he is. And that pitch you're talking about, like, he throws the ball and he's walking his stride off. Like, he's in the middle of, like, his follow-through. Mm-hmm. And he takes 1 step, 2 step. The ball gets smacked back to him. And when he catches it, he's, like, making eye contact with the batter.
He shot a blue steel at one point. He kind of went like, caught it, whip it. And we're out.
That's awesome. Go back to the comments. Speaking of him, he knows. Who told him? Who spoiled it? Papa Yovan, I got to know.
Was it Mom? Could she not hold the secret?
So I've known for a minute. Papa Yovan told me a while back that they're coming down. They were going to come down to surprise Kenyon and check out some of his games. And it looks like they're going to be in Birmingham at the end of the month, and then beginning of July, they're going to come check out a couple games here. Welcome. I can guarantee you the environment going from a game in Birmingham immediately, like an hour and a half north to a game here, wildly different.
You're going to love it. Yeah, go to that Birmingham game first. Absolutely. Soak it all in, and then come on down to the zoo.
Oh, it's nuts here, man. Especially if you're going to be here like 4th of July and then maybe even that weekend. Oh,
it's going to be sick.
Bananas.
It's going to be a good time. So we'll see y'all very soon. Hello to Virgil. Good afternoon to you, sir. Austin in here. He said, what a game last night. You ain't kidding, dude. Robert's in the chat. What's going on, buddy?
Virgil's got like the coolest minor league baseball hat collection.
Got them all.
I've ever seen.
He got them all.
It's so cool. And you know you have to collect them for a long time.
Oh, another name brought up by Bob right here, listener of the podcast, who also said He's like, I can't wait to see the Barracuda tonight. He told me I saw him at the game. I was like, just wait. You got to hit that same night.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Yeah, dude. So we hit the Barracuda on him. He loved that. What's up, Bob? But he brings up Kai Bush.
You know, it's funny. You've brought up Kai Bush a few times this year. I feel like I haven't seen Kai Bush in a Trash Pandas uniform since 2021. Like, I feel like it's been such a blur since I've seen him. I know it's been since then, but it just feels like a blur.
Well, it was last season.
Yeah, I know he was here last year, but it feels like it was so long ago.
I know, and he's been dealing with an injury. I'm thinking, from what I hear, is after the All-Star break is when he gets back in action. So I don't know, but another name I'm definitely looking at. I mean, that was such a huge arm for us last year. I mean, he pitched in the All-Star Futures game I think for like 6 straight starts, he was virtually unhittable. I remember one game he only gave up a couple hits because of his own fielding errors. Like, the only reason someone got on base was just like he stumbled once.
Speaking of the arm, have you ever heard the arm story from Rob in the press box?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, you said another arm, right? Well, last season, and we still joke about this in the press box, but last season, I can't remember who it was that was here, but someone was here talking to Josh, right? And
Josh Carey, voice of the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
They were talking to Josh, and they were obviously enamored by Ben Joyce. Ben Joyce had just got here with Sonny D. You know, we got our crop of college guys come in the last part of the season, and we just so happened to also have gotten Glenn Albanese towards the end of the year last year as well. And this guy's talking to Josh, and he was like, "So how's that guy doing?" And Josh was like, "Which guy are you talking about?" He's like, "You know, the one with the big arm." And Josh looks at me and goes, "Glenn?" So, right, that tickled Rob to death. So now anytime, obviously he was talking about Ben Joyce.
Right.
So now anytime we talk about the arm, he'll be like, "Glenn Albanese, is he here?" So Glenn's press box nickname is the arm.
Shout out to Glenn.
Yeah, where is Glenn
Albanese?
Albanese?
I don't know, man. I think he's still in the organization.
He's somewhere. I know he's pitching somewhere.
He played for Italy in the World Baseball Classic.
That's pretty sweet.
I think that was who he played for. Shout out Glenn. What's up, dude? That big arm.
Hey, we can't bring up our bullpen either. I know we're talking about guys that aren't here anymore, but we were giving credit to guys that have pitched well and pitched well last week. You want to talk about how far Ivan Armstrong has come? That dude, he's becoming a really solid middle reliever there. He's just the last few outings have been so rock solid for him. So against good competition too, because Chattanooga can beat the ball. So really happy with how far Ivan's come.
Yeah,
he's looked pretty good.
Right. Yeah, starting to see strides there.
And shout out to Chattanooga one more time as well. Not really the way to hit the ball. They did score a lot of runs on the Trash Pandas, but I got to give it to them. That middle infield that they have reminds me so much of our middle infield from last year. You're just, unless you hit the ball to the outfield, you're out. I mean, if you're hitting a ground ball that anybody but the pitcher is picking up, you're out because their infield is that good.
That's what's tough about the top of this division, man. Tennessee and Chattanooga are both good teams. Like you said, you hit one up the middle on Chattanooga, they're going to get you. Tennessee, it seems like they have no bad at bats.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough hill to climb, and we've got a lot of young guys, but it's consistency like that we're missing.
100%. You were pointing at the comments. What we got down here?
Got a question about Eric Torres. It says he's on the IL now. I don't believe that was a thing when he was in Rocket City because he got called to AAA, and then since then I lost contact with what he's done. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is.
The last I saw of Eric Torres was he went and he pitched. They were on a road trip in Texas in AAA, and he went and tried to pitch an inning and only was able to record one out and got beat up pretty good. And I haven't heard anything since then. So I did. If he is on the IL, I did not know that. I do hope he gets well soon. Maybe that explains why he had a poor outing because it wasn't very good.
Maybe, I don't know.
Unfortunately. But, we've seen him pitch really good baseball. So we know he's got it in him.
Interesting, too, to see the moves that have come out of the bullpen and the starting lineup for us. With all the issues you've heard about the balls, I think it's interesting that now you see a lot of our top pitching guys moving on to new places. I think the Angels recognize that it's tougher to evaluate pitchers right now with this baseball. And until 100%. They switch, I think they're trying to get them to different places to see if that changes what we've seen so far. Because, we've said with Eric Torres, Southern League reliever of the year last year, and guys just struggled all season. It's been tough for him. It doesn't make sense that would happen. So I think what they're doing is, look, let's get a new setting for these guys. Let's get a new ball. Let's see if we can get them back to where they were last year, and then we'll be ready to go.
And for them, it's also, for the Angels, it's a double-edged sword too, right? Because if you want to get them away from this ball is only being used, not in Double-A, in the Southern League. It's only being used in the Southern League. So you might be thinking, well, it's easy. Just call them up to Triple-A. Well, if you've got a guy that's, you're trying to develop into a really good prospect or into a really good pitcher, it's difficult to call him up to the Angels AAA because he would be pitching in altitude, and that has been an issue. So it's, what do we do with these guys? Like we got a ball that's obviously impacting them, and then over here you're not going to get as good of a read on it either because you're pitching in altitude. So what do we do? Well, you got two really good dudes called straight up to the pro club, and you got one guy that was able to go and pitch in AAA while they were on a road trip. So they're trying to make it work, but it feels like it is more difficult for the Angels because you have that AAA issue as well.
Not even just the altitude. That whole Pacific Coast League is fireworks. Every game ends like 9-10, or like one we had last night, 15-12. Like that's every single night. Those are high scoring games. And like you said, at home you're pitching at altitude. It is brutal right now for the Angels to have to evaluate pitchers, considering all the weird rules. Because AAA has their own ball too. They're not even using the same ball we use or the pros.
Yeah.
So you really got your work cut out for you as a scout right now in this system.
We talked about Ben Joyce's outing the other night. We talked about Torres in AAA, but Bachman got a couple of different outings, right? He went out and he had one right before Ben got called up, and he did pretty good. He also pitched, I think, last night's game. He pitched towards the end. The Angels were getting beat pretty good, so he came in like the 7th or the 8th inning, and I just remembered that and forgot to follow up to see how he did.
It seems like the Angels are almost using their late inning games as a mini minor league.
100% what they're doing. Today, in the starting lineup, instead of rotating Soto and Neto at shortstop, they just played them. They started them both. Soto started at second today, and Neto started at short, which the Angels, by the way, are leading 8-1 right now. So there's that. But last night, I know Bachman came in. Yeah, he pitched one inning, gave up one hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no nothing. So it looks like maybe a lot of pitch to contact. Okay. Threw 11 pitches, 9 strikes.
Not bad.
Good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. So there you go. Silseth pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, only 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So Silseth still finding his way over there to another former Trash Panda.
In fact, one of our giveaways for this year, the Chase Silseth Garden Gnome is coming up.
It's chunky. It's got his face, his little...
He's got that snarl.
That snarl.
Let me find out the exact date on this one. Yeah, you got to get you a garden gnome. We've never given away a player garden gnome before. We've never given away any kind of gnome or gnome-like structure here with the Panders. So get the first ever, folks. This guy could be... That could be a big deal someday. You're going to want that gnome guarding your garden.
We've also got another amazing giveaway. It's probably my favorite giveaway you've ever done, and that includes the adorable little Sprocket piggy bank we gave away the other day.
Yeah.
That lunchbox, that Trash Pandas jersey lunch bag.
Yeah.
I had a guy, look, I went to school in Tennessee, right? I had a guy hit me up yesterday. I won't give you his name, but I'll read you his DM right now.
By the way, June 20th for the Chase Silseth Garden Gnome against the same Montgomery Biscuits we're playing right now.
I went to high school with this guy. He was a couple years younger than me. Run into him a few times since then. We say hey or whatever. It's never one time. First time he ever DM'd me yesterday.
Yeah.
Bro, how I get that Trash Pandas lunch bag?
Bro.
That's how it started. How I get that Trash Pandas lunch bag? That thing is sweet.
It is sweet. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of adults using that bag for their lunch for years to come, one of which is talking to you right now.
I would love to tell you that I would do the same, but my wife already claimed it. She was like, "You bring that home?" I'm like, "Yeah, I get one." And she was like, "Yeah, thanks."
I get that.
She was like, and she tried to put the mental spin on it to make it sound like it was a good idea for her to have it, not me.
Smart.
She was like, "Well, think about it. Everybody at work gets one, right? Well, yeah, how are you gonna know which one's yours? You're gonna bring your lunch. You're gonna get confused with everybody else."
That's a really good point.
I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I already have a lunch box, so that's true.
You're right, baby. I already got a lunch box, so
nobody you work with is gonna have one. Yeah, go ahead.
What would I need another one for? Yeah, no, that's a great one. If you haven't seen that, go to Twitter. We got a photo of that one.
It's sick.
If the jersey if our home jersey were made into a receptacle for lunches, it would look exactly like this one right here.
That's
And
exactly
I
what
mean, it's a beaut. So we got some good giveaways coming up. I mean, the jersey lunch bag, the beverage belt coming up. Fan favorite Papa Yovan over there. We got some good stuff. So go to trashpandasbaseball.com. Check out the promos tab. Go to check us out on Twitter at Trash Pandas. That's really what you need to be following if you're not already there. Follow at Trash Pandas on Twitter. All the updates. If there's any weather issues, you're going to see them there. If there's any new giveaways, any new announcements, anything, you'll see it on there.
We'll have a bucket hat given away later this year.
Yes.
Man, we got another bobblehead coming up later, the Sunny D bobblehead.
Let's not forget about the Zach Neto item.
Zach Neto, we haven't given that one away yet?
No, that's actually coming up soon.
Let's go.
June 20th for Chase Silseth. And then Zach Neto's bobblehead will be the day after the 4th of July on the 5th of July.
On an all-you-can-eat Wednesday.
All-you-can-eat Wednesday. Look, get you a little bobblehead there with leg kick Zach Neto. Back in the day when he was a Panda. Remember those times? April?
Makes me giggle.
Those were good times.
Good days. Good days.
I used to be a man back then.
That's when baseball was made of men.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Now they got younger men.
Covered in mysterious tack from league to league. No one knows where it's sourced. No one knows how
I finally got to hold one of those balls the other day, by the way. Have you? Aaron.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I've never really tried to feel it or anything.
Our media guy brought it up here, and he was like, I'm so tired of people asking me, like, during the game, like media and everything, what this new ball's like. So I just brought it up here for people to feel next to a real baseball.
What'd you think?
Baseball. I thought it was interesting that I understand where they're coming from, but I expected it to be sticky.
Right.
But it's not. It's a pre-tacked ball. It's a lot smoother. Like, it feels a lot slicker.
Yeah.
And Aaron was like, well, when they start sweating, it's naturally going to create more grip. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes it even weirder. You're going to go from a really slick ball to now it's too much grip.
And now if you're coming in from the bullpen, you've been sitting down for the last 8 innings. Now I got to get a sweat going to activate my pitches. I got to dip my hand in a bucket of water on the way out.
You got to jog out here, but you can't jog too fast. Who was it? Was it a Philly that did that this year early in the season? It was a relief pitcher. He sprinted.
Oh, from last year, I think.
Oh, it was last year. Yeah. He sprinted from the dugout, and he was too gassed
He
to
was
pitch.
completely burnt out, blown up. Real Muto's looking at him like he's a complete dunce.
Oh, that's a great moment.
Yeah, that's what you have to do now. You have to just dead sprint to the mound, hope you activate enough sweat to throw the stuff you used to just throw regularly with the old baseball.
Yeah. Not anymore, my friend.
Wow, that's crazy. We added more tack to it, but it's somehow smoother.
Yeah, it's
But
weird.
if you're sweaty, you're fine. What?
Hmm?
Can we just have the ball where it's like you grab it and then you throw it?
No, it's too easy.
No.
What are you, nuts?
What do you think we are, scientists? You can just figure that out? Well, yeah. Kind of do, yeah.
Go back to your shanties. Don't worry about this.
You going a little Shooter McGavin here?
It's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, my gosh.
But before we get out of here, I had one more thing since we spent 40 minutes on the Pandas and baseball. I realized since we're like 90 days, we're like 3 months away from college football starting again. I'm trying to get back into. I've been so burnt out on college football news just because that's what our main focus was when we were in radio. I just spent every day for 6 years looking, reading, thinking about it all the time. And now I'm just like, I want to turn my brain off to college football until college football starts, and I feel like I'm going to have way more fun that way. So that's how I've been this offseason. Really haven't paid much attention to anything. But I did see today in college football that there's no more Cheez-It Bowl. The Cheez-It Bowl
Quick moment of silence for the
gone.
Cheez-It Bowl.
The winner's not going to be
Wow,
doused.
that was quick.
And
That was
it's
the
rightfully
definition
so.
of a quick moment of silence.
Well, you said quick moment of silence. They're not honoring the moment of silence. So.
Not everyone around us. Unbelievable.
No, the winner would have a bucket of Cheez-Its dumped on him, which, I mean, really didn't do much because it was crackers.
Did you ever chew on a
Slide
Cheez-It
through.
the wrong way? Lacerate the inside of your mouth?
I'm a big Cheez-It guy, big Cheez-It fan.
What's their competitor?
Goldfish? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I think Goldfish had... Is this Big Cheese Cracker getting its fingers into our bowl seasons?
I don't know because it's being.
This is what happens when education is not at the forefront of the NCAA.
Well, hold on, my friend.
Okay, sorry, my
I
bad.
feel like the Cheez-It Bowl got an upgrade
Okay.
because it's being rebranded.
Okay.
It's no longer the Cheez-It Bowl,
You got a long hill to climb. It better be good.
the Pop-Tart Bowl.
And just like that, you've totally redeemed yourself. Pop-Tart Bowl. I'm in, dude. Is there a little Pop-Tart with eyes and a mouth and hands?
I
Get you
hope
on the
so.
sideline?
I
what's
sure
up
hope
there,
so.
buddy? White gloves. I hope he's blueberry. You know?
Is that your favorite Pop-Tart?
No, it's my favorite visually. It's a good-looking Pop-Tart. It looks tasty. It's got all the...
You know, that's a really good point because I actually feel the same way. Like, I see a blueberry Pop-Tart. I'm like, that should be the face of Pop-Tarts because it looks like the blue specks look really nice. And then you open it up, it looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Taste-wise, it's good, but it's not the best, but it looks...
White
you're right.
frosting, blue drizzle, got the little, like, specks of sugar or whatever on there. Oh, yeah. Good look.
But taste-wise, what's your favorite Pop-Tart?
I grew up on the brown sugar ones.
Brown sugars are good.
Oh, you warm up a brown sugar Pop-Tart, get you a little ice-cold mood juice.
Brown,
Yeah, buddy.
brown sugar's good. I think the s'mores Pop-Tarts are good, but wild berry's probably my favorite.
Wildberry.
Big wildberry,
Which is, let's just call it what it is. It's red and blue smushed together.
Yeah, it's exactly what
It's not a real berry. It's just two of them. Just wildly smushed into one, which I'm cool. I love it.
It
I'm
tastes
with
great.
Yeah. Love blueberry. Love the cherry. Not a s'mores guy for it.
I think they're not bad. They're fun.
Okay.
Have you
What
had
are
a
the
bad
other-
Pop-Tart, though? I
No.
really don't think I ever have.
What are the other flavors? Is that how deep our brains go as far as the bench for Pop-Tart?
You know, there's a frostless Pop-Tart.
That's just
And I've
stupid.
seen people put butter on Pop-Tarts.
That's
like
an
they,
English muffin.
they-
That's an American muffin. No.
They heat them
That's
up.
a North American muffin.
They heat them up. They toast them, and then they cover them in butter.
What's on the inside? Pastry?
There's filling. I just don't know what flavor.
That's a poor man's croissant, and I won't have that.
You've never seen a
That's a dollar store croissant if I've ever heard it.
you've never seen a frostless Pop-Tart?
No, I've never gone out of my way to look for. I've never had a Pop-Tart and go, oh man, if only it wasn't for all this frosting, all this deliciousness. I
They
could really
just-
do without that.
They just look bad.
Look, they look like they're naked. They need a shirt on. They need the frosting. A frostless Pop-Tart's, it hurts the eyes.
There's a Pop-Tart Eggo frosted maple flavor.
Now, that just
You
sounds
can't tell me wild berry's not delicious. Look at that.
wild berry. Look at it. Look at that. It's the perfect combination of two berries.
It's a good looking Pop-Tart.
If it really was wild berry flavored, you get sick from that. You can't eat wild berries. Not the wrong ones.
Hey, is that a thing? I don't.
What? You've never watched a movie where someone had to survive in the woods and they're like, you better not eat those berries over there. You better eat those berries.
Oh, you mean
you
like
eat those berries.
a wild.
I mean a wild berry.
Oh, I thought you meant like a wild berry was a type of berry.
No.
I get what you're saying.
No, we agreed. That is just a mashing of two fruits together in one pastry. There is no wild berry that exists, but there are wild berries. So I mean, the branding, especially in today's, you gotta have someone sign a waiver for pretty much everything, or you're gonna get sued. I'm surprised someone hasn't been like, you know what, the advertising on these Pop-Tarts, they led me to eat actual wild berries, and I have an intestinal issue. I'm going to need compensation.
Just rename what a wild berry is. It's like something you find in the wild, like a feral berry. It's a feral berry.
Dragon fruit. Is that a real thing? We could have just made up a name.
Dragon fruit's another one of those that look really good.
That's a real thing.
But
though.
have you never look up what the inside of a dragon fruit looks like? It looks like the most delicious fruit you would ever eat, but I hear it's really nothing special.
Dragon fruit. Oh, that's what that is?
Mm-hmm.
With the little specks?
Yeah, does it not look delicious?
It does. It looks.
I hear it's
It looks
really
exotic.
Here it's really nothing great. Here it's kind of bland.
Looks like it would tantalize my taste buds.
It looks like it tastes like a sweet that you've never had before. Like you've never tasted this kind of sweet.
According to the internet, dragon fruit tastes like a combination of a pear and a kiwi with a touch of citrus. It's nature's wild berry, is what it sounds like. Wow. That's amazing.
It's a mashup of fruits.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, I take back what I said about dragon fruit. It's the real one. Pop-Tarts are the pretenders.
I'll go back to you said Pop-Tart being like a America's, what'd you say, croissant?
That's a North American croissant if you get an unfrosted one covered in butter.
Last night, my wife and I were watching a show. We were catching up on a show, and it was like the episode we were watching was British themed, and the guy sitting down at the table, had like teen crumpets and all this, and then there was a bunch of cupcakes. My wife was like, "Are cupcakes British?" And I was like, "I don't think they're British." So I looked them up, and they're not. But apparently, the British, according to the internet, have a cupcake called a fairy cake that looks just like a cupcake. There's like no difference. I don't know what. Does anybody know what the difference between a fairy cake and a cupcake is? Apparently, that's a slight one, but there is one.
Yeah, I've heard of a cupcake. I ain't never heard of a fairy cake. So
There's your difference.
I'm calling them freedom fries. What?
Look, I don't want to hear other places make fun of the things we eat. Like, oh, they eat too much fried stuff. There's too much this. There's too much that. When there are people that eat toast and beans together. Like I'm
not here to tackle a person's culture, but if you are going to get on to anybody, get on to the people eating unfrosted Pop-Tarts. Those are the people we got to get to. We got to turn them to the other side. They don't even know about Wildberry. They don't even know. They don't even know what eclectic combination of two or more berries could be. Well, I'm not calling it Wildberry anymore. I'm not getting sued. They don't even know.
I'm not getting
No,
sued.
I'm not being a part of that class action lawsuit 10 years from now when all those folks munching up wild berries thinking they're going to have a fun Pop-Tart experience, and instead they hallucinate and end up very dehydrated and probably in an emergency room. I'm not going to be a part of that.
We got some good stuff weighing in over here, talking about the Pop-Tart Bowl. Let's see. Papa Yovan says, just call it the Weed Snack Bowl.
The Munchies Bowl. Remember we talked about years ago, like with the amount of legal dispensaries in America, like I'm surprised weed hasn't sponsored a bowl yet. Like I'm surprised like Snoop Dogg and Seth Rogen don't have their own bowl. Like so many
Jimmy
people.
Kimmel has his own bowl.
Yeah,
Why
he
can't
has
they?
his own bowl.
Well, Snoop has his own bowl. It's just in his house.
Dude, see, this is tailor-made for these guys. The bowl. The load of bowl.
Snoop brought his own bowl to the Super Bowl. Remember that?
Dude.
Right before he went on stage.
Yeah. Put that thing in California or in Las Vegas or at Papa Hayes' Hazy Place in Montana, and let's play some football. All right? We don't need another Gasparillo Bad Boys Mowers Bowl. You know? What's the fun in that? Let's get Snoop. Let's get some other fun celebrities involved. And let's just chill. You know what I mean?
And just call it the bowl.
The bowl, man.
It's just the bowl. Like, and then the marketing ploy to sell tickets is, hey, pack the bowl. You know? pack the bowl,
thing
man.
Sells itself. So easy.
Oh,
This has been a absolute, tour de force of marketing ideas for me and you.
I mean, with that, and then the twice monthly, bi-monthly dad's letterhead.
We're a mine of ideas. We're just looking for a financier to get in here and back it up with a little dough.
That's right. Robert says, marketing idea: the Trash Pandas Pop-Tart. What
What was that?
What would the flavor be? I've never tasted a raccoon.
You know what the
before,
flavor
but I
would be? At first, you'd taste it and be like, what's that? And then all of a sudden, the aftertaste, you'd be like, oh. We call it,
don't- there it is.
the comeback Pop-Tart. You know? You'd be like, I don't know about, ooh.
There it is. JB says, Pop-Tart bobblehead giveaway.
I need a mascot for the Pop-Tart Bowl, and I need it to be a giant personified Pop-Tart. With eyes and a mouth, big goofy hands that stick out of its rectangular body, hopefully some movements like this. You know, I hope it's not like, I don't want them to be mobile, you know what I mean? I want them to be pretty boxy. I want, if a play goes out of bounds and the Pop-Tart's standing there, there's no chance the Pop-Tart has, like, of getting out of the way. Like, the Pop-Tart's going down. And we're going to have a hilarious video as a result.
Something like this, like goofy like that.
Oh, my God. That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. Yeah. That is perfect. Oh, yeah. See? Pop-Tart, eyes, mouth.
Here you go. There's a live picture.
Oh, I want all those guys there. I want all of them. Could you imagine on a sideline, you know, some guy for Florida State trucking it on a 15-yard gain. He gets pushed out of bounds and bowls over 4 Pop-Tarts. That's hilarious.
Oh, that would be pretty sweet.
That's great marketing.
That's better than knocking over a cheerleader for sure. Don't they have like a Pop-Tart cereal too?
I don't know.
Pretty sure they do.
If that's real, then I'm about to have a mind-opening experience at the grocery store after work today.
They have Pop-Tart cereal.
What kind of those? Those
That
frosted?
that one's strawberry.
Okay.
But yes, they do look like they're frosted.
Don't get it in Wildberry. I didn't say that, actually. I didn't say that.
Like, you're gonna get sued. Pop-Tart cereal. Let me see flavors. Let's see what flavors they have.
Excuse
If it's
me.
only strawberry, then
Do you have eclectic collections of 2 or more berry Pop-Tarts here? What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? What are you, nuts?
Looks
Gonna
like
get somebody hurt.
they only have strawberry. Ooh, they do have brown sugar cinnamon
It's a great one.
for the. Okay. Ooh, another Pop-Tart flavor. Hot fudge sundae. There you go.
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had it,
I don't
but
think
it's
I
one.
don't know.
It is a flavor.
It's too sweet for me. I think
Tropical mango.
as a toaster pastry. I don't want hot fudge. I'm starting my day off with like a full-blown dessert at that point.
As an adult, I treat Pop-Tarts as a dessert.
But if you get a little fruit filling, it feels like I'm being healthy, even though you clearly are not. But it's like it's a little lighter than. Yeah, what'd you do? Oh, I pounded 4 hot fudge Sunday Pop-Tarts this morning. You're like, golly, dude, are you gonna take a nap now? What are you gonna do?
So
You're
apparently,
gonna go be real productive after that?
the Pop-Tart website will tell you what Pop-Tarts are new. There's a new banana bread Pop-Tart. 4.3 stars out of 5.
Wouldn't mind dabbling in one of those.
The Apple Jacks Pop-Tart only got a 2.3.
See, that's because they're bringing in other people's brand. Pop-Tarts, just stay true to yourself. You already got it. You figured it out.
Frosted Blueberry, 4.7 stars
Can't
out
beat
of 5.
it. Stud.
Frosted Brown Sugar Cinnamon, 4.8 out of 5.
Oh,
Frosted Cherry, we forgot about Cherry, 4.8.
those are the top 3. Those are my 3.
Frosted Chocolate Chip, 4.7.
Too much dessert.
Chocolate Fudge. Chocolate Fudge was always too much.
Chocolate, that's too much.
3.7. Frosted Confetti,
That's a palate cleanser after a nice meal.
Cookies and Cream Pop-Tart. Frosted Grape. I didn't even know there was a grape.
What is a frosted grape?
Frosted Grape Pop-Tart.
I'd eat a frosted grape Pop-Tart if I had to, but
Hot Fudge Sundae did really well in the rankings.
the
Where's
sixth
the
man.
Wild Berry, man? I want to know what the
see?
Wild Berry got.
You see? You can't find it now, can you?
You
know why?
There it is. Finally. It took me way longer.
They push it down to the bottom of the results.
4.8 out of 5 stars.
They know they got a pressure cooker on their hands here. They know it. They know it's a powder
We're
keg.
on to you.
They said, what were we thinking? Those marketing geniuses in the 80s called this thing Wildberry, and now we're here to pick up the mess.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Anyways, sorry, Cheez-Its.
It's
a good
Pop-Tarts territory
Yeah,
now.
you had a good run.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Just remember, we're back home next week for a 6-game series. Actually, we'll be out on Tuesday. It's Oliver's first birthday. He'll be a year old on Tuesday.
Get out of here.
yeah.
What kind of plans you guys got?
Well, we're doing this party on Saturday. So,
What do you do for a 1-year-old party?
well, we rented out, it's called the Little Gym of Huntsville. So,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, we rented that out for a
That's
couple
for
hours.
kids?
Yes.
That's a gym for kids? I just thought it was like if you're a shorter person and you want to work out. Like you don't have to worry about like gym intimidation. You know what I mean? Gym intimidation. I swear, I was like, oh, well, that's nice. You know?
Okay, a lot to unpack there. Quite a bit. No. So,
listening.
no, it's not a weightlifting gym for little people.
Well, what am I supposed to think? It's just what babies in there doing deadlifts?
Nor
Mine
is
is way more reasonable.
Nor is it a weightlifting place for infants.
Oh. It's none of the above?
No, we're not taking Oliver to a gym on his birthday and going, hey, what's your squat max? What you got?
Hey, maybe he's looking after himself. You know? What's a nice,
No.
tight 1-year-old frame on his
It's like
birthday?
it's almost like a little tumbling place, like almost like a little gymnastics stuff. They got stuff they can hold on to, things they can swing from, padded stuff they can crawl up and down
Just
on.
things your kid can just bash into over and over.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun, and it's
didn't know
good
that.
for ages up to like ages 12 too, which is good because we'll have a few kids come in that are between the ages of 5 and 8.
What if the 12-year-old's tall?
I think it's good because I mean a tall 12-year-old's still little compared to.
All right.
I think.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
We're back home next week, Tuesday through Sunday, another homestand. So we want you to pack the ball. I mean, fill the stadium
Pack the
full
bowl,
of people.
baby. Pack it.
Pack the ball here at Toyota Field.
Pack it in like they're packing toddlers into the little gym. For Antonia's little
Again,
kid's
which
birthday
does
party.
not mean that if your kid is invited to Oliver's birthday party, he will be expected to max out on a bench press. That is not what this means.
Come on, kid. How many pull-ups? 0? Really? This kid's 2. He can't even do any pull-ups.
And he pooped himself.
Oh, my gosh. This is embarrassing for you, kid. You should have maybe not come. Good luck getting an invite to the second party.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, you want to talk about the giveaways?
That move will never work at the big gym, pal. Never.
They just call it the gym. They don't call it the big gym. Should there be a big gym? You have the little gym, the big gym?
No, the big gym, I think, is just
The
it's
gym.
not even the little gym's not a gym. So the big gym, therefore, wouldn't be a gym. So I guess it would be like, I don't know, nail stylist or something.
Another great marketing idea, if we're talking about it, create the little gym.
What do you mean?
Like the way you thought it originally was.
Oh, like a gym for shorter people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Create
You tired of working out with all these big muscular hunks and their 6'8" frames? Not here. If you're 5'8" or higher, hit the bricks, pal.
What's the gym that doesn't discriminate? Planet Fitness?
Planet
It's
Fitness.
the Planet Fitness for short people.
It is. I think there's a market there.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. That we've just a fountain of ideas.
I mean, if you're a regular guy like myself, there's nothing less motivating than, getting on the treadmill and then to your right's a guy that looks like, he's training to be the world heavyweight champion. You're going, I don't even want to use the same machinery as this guy. I'm just going to look like a wuss after he gets done.
When I first moved here, I'm like 200 pounds now. When I first moved here back in 2010, I signed up at a gym right down the road from where my dad lived at the time. I was about 100, maybe 160 pounds. Maybe. I was tiny. And I started going to the gym, and there was this guy that was working out there for the first few months. I mean, he is absolutely ripped. I mean, huge, thick shoulders, thick legs, everything about him is huge, right? And I'm sitting there. I get to know a couple people at the gym. They're like, yeah, he's on scholarship to play football at Louisville. He's pretty good. And I'm like, oh, really? That's pretty awesome. They're like, yeah, I think he was like he redshirted last year or something, but yeah, I think he earned a scholarship this year. But he plays for Louisville. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So then I got to know him, right? Mm-hmm. And 160-pound dude, easily 230 pounds, absolutely ripped head to toe. I was like, I mean, this guy, probably like a backup linebacker or something, right? So I talked to him. He's over there doing squats, medicine ball squats, walking around the gym. I'm trying to keep up. We get to talking. And I was like, yeah, I heard you played at Louisville. And like, yeah, hopefully, I'm getting to some more playing time this year. I'm like, so what are you, middle linebacker, outside linebacker? He laughed at me. He was like, no. I was like, oh, what? Maybe, you on the edge? He was like, no, I'm the punter.
I'm the punter.
Excuse me? To this day, the biggest punter I've ever seen in my life.
Wish you could have been at the little gym, don't you?
Massive. Yeah, I would love to have been at the little
And
gym.
you know what? Maybe it's not even a height requirement. You just go in there and go, look, dude, I got a 6'3", 225-pound punter at my home gym. Can I just get a day pass? I just need a day pass. I can't go in the same time as this guy.
No,
I can't focus. Everything I do is just going to make me feel inferior. They go, you're in the right spot, buddy. Get in here.
I'm about 60 pounds shy of a punter.
All the doorways are super low, too, so it makes you feel like you're a giant. The building's just built real small.
Oh, man.
It only fits like 7 people in it at a
You'd
time.
never go home. You would never go home. Going home would be the worst wake-up call ever. You're back around normal-sized stuff, but it feels bigger because you were just at a place that made you feel like a
And
giant.
you quite literally may never get home because one day you're going to get big enough to where you can't fit through the doorways. There's going to be that one time you just add like that little bit of muscle and you go, I now have to wait a week and shed some pounds before I can literally get out of this.
Well, that's when you
physically get out of the
I
gym.
don't know, like pop the roof off.
Maybe we have like a
Step over.
submarine door or something. Ooh, that'd be cool. We could put a little bell up there. Like, oh, that's your little gym graduation. Be like, dude, Tony Mack, everyone give it up for him.
Yeah.
He reached the blowhole.
Is he stuck?
He rang the bell.
Is he stuck in the door? Oh, he did it.
He can't go through the doors anymore, man. It's a
Yeah.
big day. Where's he now? He's on the roof. I didn't put a ladder to get down up there. No one's actually done it yet. So we're gonna have to send a search.
We're going to have to call the fire department.
Yeah, no, for
sure.
sure. This is an issue. I didn't think about this when I opened this business 5 years ago.
How this broke code, I don't understand.
Nobody has worked out here long enough to actually reach that stage. I can't believe he keeps paying. This whole idea is terrible. I have 6 customers, and one of them just went through the ceiling.
I poured my life savings into this.
I didn't do the economics before I got into this.
It was all because of that darn kid who claimed he touched the ball going out of bounds. I had to open up the little gym.
If that one punter from Louisville wouldn't have been at the gym, I would have never got the wild hair to make this place, and now here I am.
How did I get here? I touched it, coach. I went from that to here.
son, this is the fire department. We know this is a big day for you, but we need you to come down, okay? You cannot live up there. This is the end of the road.
No, I mean, he went out of business. We're tearing the building down. You're going to need
Seriously,
to.
nothing was up to code. You've breathed in asbestos for several years. The fact that you are this big, we think, is a side effect and not actually a result of any working out.
You're not even on the roof. You're in the hospital. We're trying to get you. Wake up.
You're hallucinating pretty bad right now. I probably look like an elephant with a party hat on. That's normal. Just keep breathing.
You're trying to curl the pediatric department. It's just it's a whole issue. Those are children, not weights. Please
Sir,
put the baby down.
Quit licking the crash boards. You don't need those. You do not need those.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you guys. We'll be here on Friday. We'll do one more before the weekend and get you set up for another homestand. Hopefully, the Trash Pandas take care of business on the road, and they don't have to do it by coming from behind 12 runs. But what a way to absolve blowing a 6-run lead in the 8th inning last week and erasing a 12-run deficit and winning that game by 3 runs.